So, after a long hiatus of Warhammer, we are back for an apocalypse level mission entitled Exterminatus, a mission I have long wanted to play. So, the Army of the Apocalypse is as such. There's basically two armies. There's Chaos Demons. We have a Demon Prince of Khorne, a Demon Prince of Slaanesh, and a Demon Princess of Tzeentch, who will have an axe, although it's not modeled. We have a Bloodletter Bomb with a special banner that allows them to charge 3d6. They will be in reserves. There's 30 Bloodletters there. There are 2 units of 10 Pink Horrors. There's 1 unit of 9 Flamers. And we have, in this, 3 units of 9 Screamers of Tzeentch. And that basically concludes the Chaos Demons portion of the Army of the Apocalypse. Now, moving on to the command cadre of the entire army, we have infamously the Despoiler, Abaddon himself, backed up by 2 sorcerers, one being in Terminator armor, the other one in regular power armor. A whole horde of troops, 1 reinforced unit of 30 cultists, 2 units of 10 cultists, and here, although it may not be pictured, they all have nothing special to them. We have 3 units of 10 Daemonettes. The harder hitting elite elements are 3 units of Chaos Terminators. The Black Legion contingent has all Chain Fists, and the Emperor's Children contingent of Terminators have mostly Lightning Claws, and one of them has a Chain Fist. We have 3 units of Obliterators, and we have 1 unit of 1 Chaos Spawn and another 1 unit of Chaos Spawn. So this was a total of 19 command points, but I've already spent 4 to put the Bloodletter Bomb in a Warp Rift ready to tear through. And I've bought an artifact for the Khorne Demon Prince, which gives him a 4-up invulnerable save and the ability to deny the witch. And I think that is it. If something has eluded my memory, I'll refer to it during the course of the game. So that is the Army of the Apocalypse.
And for the Imperium of Man, heading up is Alexander with his usual Warhammer, and he's got his demon taunting the rest of the demons. In this battalion, we've got 3 units of strike squads. The Hammer Hand, Thieves have got Hammer Hand, and he's got Gate of Infinity with the hammer. Then the Librarian bring up the other HQ. 2 heavy choices, Purgation Squad, and my Baby Carrier. We've got this guy with the Twin Las Cannon, Flyer with Las Cannon, and the Assault Cannon. And they have also got the extra with this guy and Banner. This is one of the few things that's not WYSIWYG. He's got Missile Launcher and Las Cannons, and these guys are all of scene. Then, very small patrol detachment of Custodes. He's the Shield Captain leading it on. The Vexilla's got the give Aura Bubble of a 5+ invul save to units wholly within 9 inches of him, and 4 guys bringing up the troop choice. Then, moving on to the Marines, the Dawn Wardens. We've got Chapter Master, pay the 2 command points for that, and also the Lieutenant. 3 Intercessor Squads, 2 Hellblasters bringing up that one. We've got the Elites one, another Lieutenant with Banner. He's got paid for an extra relic, so he's got a 9-inch bubble where they can re-roll when they die. On a 4-up, they get to shoot or fight again. Big guy, and then some Flamers. If they don't move, they can roll twice. And then the last slot is these guys here. Librarian on bike with Null Zone and another spell which I forget, but it gives 1 unit plus 1 strength and plus 1 attack. Bikes, attack bike, some normal Terminators as seen, and 5 guys dropping down with their assault bolters. And that's the Imperium of Man.
After long and thoughtful deployment from both sides, this is the disposition of both armies for the Exterminatus battle. So here's a grand overview of where things are. So it's 1 point at the end of the game for scoring a War Master kill and 1 point for securing one of the 6 objectives. So here we are, first turn to begin shortly. This is the end of turn 1 for the army of the Imperium of Man. A bombardment wounded Mortimer and more seriously wounded the Tzeentch demon princess. Fire from advancing Imperium of Man units wounded 1 screamer here. 1 screamer from this unit was banished back to the warp. 1 Terminator was injured behind the ruined cathedral, and 1 Terminator from this unit was killed outright. Grey Knights used their psychic powers to put themselves in an excellent middle position here, basically unreachable for the whole game. And now it is going to be the Army of the Apocalypse's turn 1. This is the end of Army of the Apocalypse, turn 1, end of battle round 1. And many momentous things have happened. The Screamers, led by the Demon Princess of Tzeentch, have slain 2 units of Grey Knights. And the Flamers, in conjunction with Mortimer, actually it's Mortimer who dealt the death blow, took down the Imperium Flyer. The Chaos Cultists, massing enough courage in their craven hearts, abandoned their defensive positions to surge forward and put some shots into the tower. Surprisingly, I guess with the most lucky shot, took out one of the Grey Knights. And here in the back, they're just scrambling to try to deny any kind of deep strike. So it is going to be now battle round 2. This is the end of Army of the Imperium of Man turn 2. Many things have happened. Most of the Screamers have been decimated, eliminated by incredible amounts of firepower ringing them after reinforcements have arrived. And the Custodes are locked in combat with these 2 remaining Screamers. One unit of Screamers was banished by Grey Knights, and I played a stratagem which will allow 9 of them to come back at the end of my movement phase. The Flamers suffered, being whittled down from 9 to 2 here, and 1 cultist unit has all been eliminated by the Terminators arriving from Deep Strike, and this once 30-man cultist unit is engaged with this lone Custodes. So this is the overview of the battlefield as it is at the end of turn 2 for the Imperium of Man. So it's going to be Army of the Apocalypse Chaos coming soon. This is the end of Army of the Apocalypse turn 2, which is the end of battle round 2. Abaddon finally descended to the battlefield with his Obliterators, and a lot of firepower really shattered the enemy center. Screamers coming back from the warp swept up, eliminated the 2 bikers, and is now engaged with the Librarian. 1 lone Screamer sacrificed itself at the hands of the of this Grey Knight hero, but spending 2 points for a stratagem that whole unit will return. And finally, the resistance here have been put down by the Demon Princess, the Screamers, and Chaos Sorcerer and Terminator armor. So the fabled Adeptus Custodes finally have been rid from the battlefield, but the battle still hangs in the balance. Mortimer, perhaps overstretching, was dispelled back into the warp at the hands of that Adeptus Custodes character, and the Terminators from behind the Shattered Shrine of Aquila have finally made their move. So this is an overview of the battle. Again, there are still some units in Deep Strike, and both sides are careful to make sure or to limit deep striking potential. It is now battle round 3. So after the Army of the Imperium of Man has wrought its destruction, you could see that the demon princess was banished, but she will come back with the use of a stratagem. And the lone screamer was also banished back to the warp. Some obliterators fell from counterfire in this direction. The cultists are barely hanging on in combat with this Adeptus Custodes character. Reinforcements have arrived in the form of the Grey Knights here, and there's a general mass advance from the rearward elements of the army of the Imperium of Man. So this is the situation at the end of Imperium of Man, Army of the Imperium of Man, turn 3. It is going to be now the Army of the Apocalypse, turn 3. This is the end of Army of the Apocalypse, turn 3, which is the end of Battle Round 3. So the situation is that since there's nobody who's going to be deep striking now from the Army of the Imperium of Man, units that were in the rear area are starting to move forward and get into the basically the meat grinder. Here, Pink Horrors and Terminators engaged a unit of Terminators and a hero, and it's locked in combat as you see here. These Terminators are slowly moving into the center. The Obliterators put down fire into this unit of Marines that were on the top of the Shrine of the Aquila, raining down fire. The biggest thing is that the Bloodletter Bomb finally did come, and it swept away one of the librarians, one of the Imperium librarians, wounded down this Grey Knight's hero to 1 wound, took some wounds off of the Rhino, and the Screamers have come back over onto that side. So there's 9 Screamers, 5 Black Legion Terminators, the Demon Princess of Zinch, which did come back, and the Demon Prince of Khorne. So the situation is as such, and it's now going to be Battle Round 4. This is the end of Army of the Imperium turn 4. And they have used a Psychic Discipline, Gate of Infinity to come back into the rear area.
I didn't do anything with that.
Oh, sorry. So the Nemesis Dread Knight is over there. And they have swept away basically most of the opposition here. They're threatening. And the Imperium is actually re-solidifying. The Bloodletter Bomb was very short-lived. The Flamers made short work out of them. And the Rhino backed out of the combat. So this is the situation as it is now. It's going to be Army of the Apocalypse turn 4. So at the beginning of turn 5, we will call it. So it will be an Army of the Apocalypse victory for now. But it was fantastic return to a game that we enjoy after a hiatus of 2 months. And win or lose, whatever, we had a good time.
Phone is happy.
Yep, and it was interesting, especially to play with the Exterminatus battle mission, a mission that I have been wanting to play for the longest time, and it was definitely it definitely gave the game a cinematic feel.
Yeah.
All right.